You guys, it's Mrs. Palmer. I know that some of you missed class today. Um, I had a huge number of students not there actually, and so I just wanted to take a minute and go over some practice problems for the translating verbal expressions lesson. So let me go ahead and flip to that slide. So before you go through these practice problems, I do need you to watch the Translating Verbal Expressions overview video. Okay, so the process for this class is that you'll watch the overview video first, then you will work through some independent practice problems with me, which you're going to do right now. And then the third thing that you'll do is take your quiz. And remember, when you take your quiz, you need to write down the quiz questions. You need to show your work, circle your answers, and then you need to turn that into me. Okay, so when we're done going through these independent practice problems, I'll go through some sample questions just like your quiz, and then you'll be ready to take your quiz. Okay, so for the first one, the instructions for these say translate the word phrase into a variable expression. So 12 times a number. We want to take these words and we want to basically write a math sentence out of these words. Okay, we want to put them into an expression. So 12 times a number. Well, obviously we know what 12 is. Times, that's the same thing as multiplication. And then anytime it says a number, that's something that we don't know. So we're just going to assign a variable to that. Let's use the variable n. Okay, so 12 times a number looks like this. Okay, let's look at the next one. 4 more than 3 times a number. Sorry, 5 more than 3 times a number. Okay, so let's just go through and fill in the things that we know. Obviously, we know 5 is 5. More than, that's another way to say addition. 3 times, okay, so we know that times is multiplication. So a number, that's going to be our variable. So 3 times a number. 3 times a number looks like this. So 5 more than 3 times a number. Okay, let's look at number 3. 4 times the sum of 5 in a number. Okay, now this one's a little bit tricky because it says we're doing 4 times the sum of 5 in a number. Okay, so sum means addition. This means addition. We're adding 5 and a number. That's our variable. So we're doing the sum of 5 and a number. And we have to do that first before we do the 4 times. Okay, so we're going to put that in parentheses. This says 4 times the sum of 5 in a number. So we have to do the sum of 5 in a number first. We would put that in parentheses. And then whatever that is, we're going to do 4 times that. Okay, question number 4. 3 less than the product of a number and 6. Please, please, please be very careful. Whenever you see less than, you cannot just substitute a subtraction sign here. Okay, we need to read this carefully. It says 3 less than the product of a number and 6. Okay, so we have to do the product of a number and a 6 first, and then 3 less than that. Okay, because it's 3 less than the product of a number and 6. Product means multiplication. Number is our variable, that's our n, and then 6. So product of a number and 6 looks like this, and then 3 less than that would be minus 3. Okay, see how this is 3 less than this. There's one on your quiz just like that, so please be very, very careful whenever you see less than. Okay, question number 5. A number decreased by 7. Now we know that decreased by is just subtraction. So a number decreased by 7 would look like this. Okay, question number 6. 1/2 the sum of a number and 3. Okay, so we're doing 1/2 the sum of a number and 3. Okay, so this is another one where we need to do the sum of a number and 3. Sum is addition. And then we have to do 1/2 of that. Okay. Question number 7. The quotient of a number and 10. Quotient just means division. We know that a number, that's our variable, and 10. So the division of a number and 10 would look like this. Okay, let's try a few more of these down below, just because there is one on your quiz where you need to do something similar to this. So number 9 says, Armin owns 12 fewer DVDs than CDs. Express the number of DVDs and the number of CDs Armin owns in terms of the number of CDs. Okay, so we're going to call the number of DVDs D, and the number of CDs that he owns will be C. We know that he owns 12 fewer DVDs than CDs. Okay, so the number of DVDs we know that it's 12 fewer than the number of CDs. So if we take the number of CDs and we subtract 12 from that, that's going to give us his number of DVDs. Okay, let's look at number 10. Fatima is 3 times the age of her younger sister, Melody. Express both ages in terms of Melody's age. Okay, so we're going to say that Melody is M. Okay, that's Melody's age. We know that Fatima is 3 times the age of Melody. So Fatima is 3 times the age of Melody. Okay, let's look at number 11. There are a total of 109 cars and trucks in a parking lot. Express the number of each automobile in terms of the number of trucks. Okay, so the number of cars and trucks in the parking lot is 109. Okay, so if we want to express the number of each automobile in terms of the number of trucks, we know that trucks are going to be equal to 109 in the total minus however many cars there are. Okay, and then the last one, Sierra's algebra book cost half as much as her biology book. Express the price of each book in terms of the price of the biology book. So the biology book is B. Okay, we're going to say A is the algebra book. We know that her algebra book cost half as much as her biology book. So if we take the amount of money that the biology book cost, we divide it by 2, that is going to equal the price of her algebra book. Or basically, the biology book is 2 times the price of the algebra book. Okay. So here's your quiz. Translating verbal expressions quiz. But I'm going to go back to some practice problems here, if I can find some. Hold on, I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay, so I wanted to just write some sample questions, just like the ones that you will see on your quiz today. Okay, so 5 more than 2 times a number. So we know that more than means addition. 2 times, we know that times is multiplication. Then a number, that's just a variable that we're going to assign. So if we want to do 5 more than 2 times a number, it looks like this. 5 more than 2 times a number. Okay. Now this one is really tricky. Please do not miss this on your quiz. Okay, remember that less than? Remember how I told you that's tricky? You can't just substitute a subtraction right here. Okay. This is 6 less than 7 times a number. So we have to write down the expression for 7 times a number first. So 7 times a number first, and then we have to do 6 less than that. Okay. If you do this, that is wrong. You have to do 6 less than 7 times a number. Okay. The last one, Bob is 3 years younger than his sister. His sister is Y years old. Write an expression for Bob's age. Well, we know that Bob is 3 years younger than his sister, and if his sister is Y years old, then Bob is going to be 3 years younger than that. So this is for Bob's age. Okay, so that is the lesson for translating verbal expressions. You have 3 quiz questions that you need to turn in to me. And when you're done, you can take a picture of them and text it to me, or you can upload it to the Dropbox, or you can email it. Any of those things work. Our next new lesson will be on Wednesday. Please be there. Please be on time. It's always best if you stay caught up. We'll have a new lesson on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. So thanks so much, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Please text me, call me, whatever you need to do to get a hold of me if you need some help, okay? I want you to be successful. I know I say that over and over again, but I really do. And so, yeah, talk to you soon.